Flex players, and we're not doing this just because I'm here. Bills, Jets, your Jets,
my New York.
Your New York Jets.
When you take your flexy pictures, your shirtless photos, is it taken by somebody else? Do you have?
They're candid. I don't know they're happening.
Just as people are just taking.
I don't know they're happening.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I get sent them. I'm like,
they get sent them.
Yeah. I would never ask. I would never plan those things.
You don't have an Instagram girlfriend or boyfriend that is just taking those photos.
No.
I don't want to judge.
No, sometimes they're just general public.
Just general public.
Yeah.
When they see you, and
copy paste them from Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I actually have a Getty Images subscription for them.
Smart.
Yeah, just so I don't have the watermark on it.
Of course.
You gotta have the good thing.
You can always tell when somebody's bawling or ratchet if they have the Getty Images watermark on it.
You're down bad when the watermark's on there. Screen grab.
Right, exactly. Because the other thing is at least if nothing else, sometimes you see women that are on the red carpet that they get red carpet, but they'll use the Getty Images thing with the watermark. I'm like, and they're like, no, it's more important to see my shoes and that I can't afford a Getty Images subscription versus, just cropping it so that you only see basically knees up or something like that, I don't know, just something I've noticed going through the gram
for a little while.
Okay.
It's good we got that out.
Truly is Friday.
I'm trying to help you. Anyway, it's been a long week.
The Bills are 11.5-point favorites traveling to MetLife Stadium, over under 46 here. Flex player number 1, of course, is Gabe Davis on the Bills, who it's kind of funny to call Gabe Davis a flex player at this point.
Sure.
I mean, he's probably been bouncing around higher than that. But Barry, in this game, he will see a good corner duo. We don't know how much Sauce Gardner he'll see in this game. Probably a lot, considering how much they moved Stephon Diggs. But you're obviously starting Gabe Davis, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Gabe Davis is East Coast Mike Williams, right? Which is what we talked about at the beginning of the year with Mike Williams. There's going to be some great games and there's going to be some bad games, and you're not going to be able to guess which ones they are. So you just got to start them. You got to start them all year. Either it's like when you're at the blackjack table, you either always hit on 16 or you never hit on 16. You can't try to guess, right? You either always start Gabe Davis or you never start Gabe Davis, as you see it there on your screen. 3 different games with over 16 fantasy points, 3 different games with under 7 fantasy points. He is so boom or bust, but I feel like he's good enough, and he's a big play enough that that when he booms, he helps win your week for you. And so I'm in on Gabe Davis. I'm just starting him every week, and it is what it is. It's worth noting that last week, bad game, but it was against the Packers, who have a pretty good secondary. Their first game off the bye. Josh Allen was, I thought, inconsistent in that game. And the other 2 single-digit games were weeks 2 and 3 when he was dealing with that ankle, And so I'm starting Gabe Davis this week. He's my wide receiver 19. I actually think he might be a bit of a buy low.
Jay, on the other side, the Jets with Garrett Wilson got back to over 100 yards last week. It's been a roller coaster situation for Garrett Wilson this week. And I know, Barry, for you, he comes in right around wide receiver 31. But, Jay, you think you're comfortable again starting Garrett Wilson? It feels like Zach Wilson kind of locks onto him, as we've figured out with Elijah Moore not happy.
Yeah, comfortable is a strong word, but I think that he's flex viable depending on who is on bye for you. Garrett Wilson, like you said, has been a roller coaster. I mean, he was favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year after week 2 when he lit up Cleveland, and now he's nowhere. But he did bounce back, and I think the big thing with Garrett Wilson is that he did show that he can produce in junk time with his twin brother Zach, the lesser brother of that duo, and as 11.5-point dogs, you would expect that there's going to be some junk time.
I thought, you cover the Jets, so you tell me, but I was really surprised in the post-game press conference when Zach Wilson said, talking about his comfort level with Garrett Wilson, that there was a motherly-like quality to Garrett Wilson. That I was surprised that he sort of
motherly?
went there. He said motherly. That's right. That's what I saw. Did I make that up? I might have made that up.
Yeah,
motherly.
I missed that one.
Fatherly? Brotherly?
Oh, man.
Motherly. I was making a mother joke. Wait, you guys come on.
You nailed it. No, I got it.
I'm out here by myself, America. You know what it is? I'm trying
America.
I'm out here. I'm just trying. I'm killing myself for you guys. Thank you. B. Rubes thought it was funny in the control room. You guys just stared at me blankly like it was a real thing.
Matthew likes to make up the producers in his ears saying things when they're not actually saying anything. This is one of his running bits.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The control room is in an uproar right now. We can't even get back on track.
God,
they actually stood up and clapped.
Yeah. Can't stop laughing.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Screw you guys.
To the backfield.
I'm going to be Cartman. Screw you guys. I'm out of here.
Going home. The Bills' backfield now with two notable names, Devin Singletary, and they made the trade for Nyheim Hines. Maybe it'll take a little while for Hines to get integrated into this offense, but Singletary.
Well, before we move there, I should point out that since under Zach Wilson, Garrett Wilson has a 20% target share. So he should. I'm just agreeing with Jay. I feel like I should actually give some analysis instead of just another mother joke.
Just another mother joke? Yeah, we fulfilled our quota. We hit the over 0.5. Cashed on BetMGM.
Promo code Barry. All right,
we saw Ramondre Stevenson have a really big day against this Jets defense last weekend. Do you think Devin Singletary is in line for that as well?
I do. I have him running back 14 this week. Look, he's had over 15 touches in each of the last 2 games. He's averaging over 80% of the offensive snaps. Now, do I think Nyheim Hines cuts into his workload a little bit more than James Cook or Zach Moss did? I do, but still, Singletary is the only fantasy running back on the Bills to score double-digit fantasy points this season. There's a trust there with Josh Allen. So going against the New York Jets, I think he's a top 15 play.
Moving along, Chargers at the Falcons.
And I'm not starting Nyheim Hines.
Not starting Nyheim
Hines. I want to see it first. You know what I mean?
Chargers at the Falcons. Chargers are 3-point favorites. A high over-under total in this one, Jay, 49.5. So let's start right there with because they are your Falcons. So they were your Falcons. I don't even know anymore.
They're surging. I'm kind of off them, though. I don't like the Falcons.
Drake London. It got to the point of the conversation where at some point we're asking, hey, we don't know whether to start this guy, but maybe also entering drop potential territory. How do you view him this week against a Chargers secondary that's hurt and has had their problems?
Yeah, I'm not starting him. I'm not starting Drake London.
Him.
No. They've got a really bad rushing defense. Still the Chargers haven't been able to fix that the past 2 seasons. So I think that the Falcons, any excuse to run the ball, they will take it.
Yes.
Drake London has...
They don't need an excuse to run the ball.
Drake London has like 132 receiving yards the past 5 weeks. Like he's not viable at the moment at all, unfortunately. So not starting Drake London.
Agreed.
Barry, Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer, we heard from Austin Eckler praising Josh Palmer in this offense.
The definitive Austin Eckler interview.
Yes.
I know he does a lot of interviews, but this was the definitive interview right here.
The certified, trademarked.
I'm just saying, like, if you really wanted to get to know Austin Eckler, the person, really dive in.
It's very fun.
So do you believe him? Or is Josh Palmer in start territory?
Yes. If he is active. My former colleague and my friend Lindsay Theory over at ESPN, she does a great job covering all the LA teams. And when I said Josh Palmer is a must start, she tweeted back at me and Jay, no guarantee Joshua Palmer will play. He's cleared concussion protocol. But when Brandon Staley was asked if he will absolutely be available, he said, quote, I'm not willing to say that, unquote. Hi, Matthew. That is, again, Lindsay Theory, my old I love Lindsay Theory.
Good vocalizing of as well.
Indeed. Anyway, Lindsay does a great job covering the team for ESPN and does a great job just as a reporter in general. The fact that he's cleared the concussion protocol is obviously a positive sign. So, listen, if he is active, I'm absolutely starting him. You think about this Falcons defense that is one of the worst in the NFL. In fact, no team has given up more passing yards per game to over the last 4 weeks than the Atlanta Falcons. So if Palmer is not out there, DeAndre Carter suddenly becomes pretty interesting as well. And I think both guys might be viable this week in kind of again, we're in the Friday flex territory, so I think both are kind of wide receiver 3s. I think Josh Palmer will be a top 20 wide receiver if he's active, and I do think DeAndre Carter could be a borderline top 30 play against the Falcons as well.
Jay, the Falcons' backfield, how do you break it down between, I don't know if it's a two-headed monster, but definitely 2 people in this backfield, Tyler Algier, Caleb Huntley.
As well, because Cordell Patterson. Well, I'm going to throw this to Mr. Berry, because why is there a 14 spot gap between Tyler Algier and Caleb Huntley? To me, these are largely the same guy. Maybe Algier has a higher floor.
I think so. It feels like I know. It feels like that Algier at least has a little bit of passing game work that Huntley does not.
Certainly did last week.
Algier has 13 red zone carries in the last 4 games. Like he's scored in the last 2 games, 46 carries in the last 2 games. Like just feels like there is 46 carries in the last 3 games, I should say. So to me, I think probably more touchdown equity and more passing game usage than Huntley. It feels like they have kind of a set package for Huntley. Huntley comes in for like chunks of plays and then he's done, and they just kind of have a set package for him. With Cordell Patterson back, though, I don't know. So right at the moment, I will just tell you that I have Algier as running back 19 this week. I have Huntley at running back 33. But both those numbers would go out the window if Cordell Patterson is active for this game. If he is, Patterson would be the only running back I would start. If he's out, I'm starting Algier with Huntley as a touchdown-dependent flex. I'm starting Algier, and Huntley would be a touchdown-dependent flex.
Colts at Patriots. The Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. Over/under set at 40.5, so not a wild point total in this game. We opened the show talking about Jonathan Taylor not practicing in consecutive days, but that opens the door for Deon Jackson.
Yeah, exactly, before I was so rudely interrupted by like 25 minutes.
The Panthers won.
All of it. It doesn't matter. But he's available in 54% of Yahoo leagues. He got work in weeks 5 and 6. Taylor and Hines missed there. And so you see it there on your screen. He had 13 points in that week 5 game against the Broncos. Hines was in that game but left that game early. And then week 6, it was all Deon Jackson, 28.1 fantasy points in that game in both games. He's had over 90 total yards. He's had over 17 touches. No Nyheim Hines. Hines now in Buffalo. And that's a 12% target share and almost 7 touches a game that leave with Hines. So I think maybe you'll see some Phillip Lindsay in this game. But honestly, I think it's going to be the Deon Jackson show against New England. He's going to be a borderline, top 15 play for me this week. I think Deon Jackson's a must start. And as I said, available in a lot of leagues. Yep.
Jay, we know on the Patriots side of things, Ramondre Stevenson is must play. But Damian Harris, he did not practice Thursday, not because of injury, due to illness. So expected to play in this game. We'll see. But is he in flex territory with you, knowing Stevenson's work share ahead of him?
He is just, it is Ramondre's backfield, but I think Mac Jones is playing so poorly that he can support 2 running backs, particularly in a game where they are 5.5-point favorites. We'll see. Harris still got 11 carries. If he is fit and ready to go, I do think that he will be able to provide flex value, particularly in a bye-mageddon week, but feel phenomenal about it.
Over the last 4 weeks, the Colts are actually 27th against the run. You can run on Indianapolis. They've had some injuries there as well, and so as Harris works his way back in as well, look, he played only 40% of the snaps last week, but still got 13 touches. To your point, if you're getting double-digit touches, like in this week, I agree with you. He comes in at running back 25 for me.
Not expected to be a big air it out kind of game between these two teams, but we have to talk about Michael Pittman, who I think was projected for much larger things this year. They've had their problems at quarterback. It's now the Sam Ehlinger show. Do you start Pittman this week in the flex spot?
Yeah, I guess so. Just the volume. Like, he's had at least 9 targets now in 3 straight games. I think Ehlinger's really going to struggle here. Belichick loves to pick on inexperienced quarterbacks, which Ehlinger is, and so I think they go conservative and run heavy. Another reason why I like Deon Jackson here, but just the volume of Michael Pittman, I think, makes him a viable wide receiver 3.
We'll take a break. When we're back, it's the Roto World Rankings Discord for the upcoming weekend.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.